Hello, my name is Stephen Breckenridge Oliver, and thank you for watching this video. What I'm going to do today is explain a few things according to the way I see it. If you agree or if you don't agree, of course, everybody's got their own opinion. No law says you got to believe anything. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Einstein theorem of E equals mc squared. Now, E equals mc squared, of course, it pertains to the speed of light being sped up. I actually figured this out back in 1984. 100% reflective spiral vacuum can speed up light. It uses gravity. You don't have to speed it up before it goes in there. It swirls the way water swirls, the way gravity affects everything else. How do we know gravity affects fifth state matter? Well, it's simple. NASA did a light test, and we are 100% certain that gravity is fifth state matter effective. This also explains the aurora borealis. Alright, now the way it works in regards to E equals mc squared being a time-space monitor, meaning you can see any point in time-space. It's a grid. Alright, the light gets sped up, right? And as you speed up the light, when it stops, right, from the perception of the origin point, wherever it is it stops, since the light gets there before it actually leaves according to the perception, it appears at the origin point wherever it is it stops. Now, if you take a single coil, one single coil, and you just put it out to wherever it goes, it's probably going to show you the edge of space, probably. Alright, if there is something that can stop hyperlight, then that's what you'll see. Now, in regards to an observation point of a crime scene, say we want to use it in court. Now, of course, we have so much corruption in the United States judicial branch right now that it's what is considered by the rest of the world to be so corrupted it's not even trustworthy, and I'll get to that in a minute. But right now I want to explain the time-space monitor, and as it goes to whatever point in time-space you want to observe, such as a crime scene. Say you got a cold case, 10-year-old murder, hadn't been solved. Well, the future can never be seen because it hasn't happened yet. How you're going to see something that's not there yet? But the past, that's always there, always. It's like it gets there before the light ever leaves Earth. So as you look back to where Earth once was, and you find a point on Earth, and the light is getting there faster than it left Earth, then you're traveling back in time according to the perception of what the light is projecting. It's that simple. So as you see whatever it is that you're looking at, you look at a crime scene from 10 years ago, you can see what happened as it happened, regardless of when it happened, as long as it's in the past. That is E equals mc squared, time-space monitor. Now, how many different ways can we use this in a court? Okay, let's say you've got an officer, and the accused is testifying that this officer is telling a non-truth, a perjury. And you know that, I've seen it before, it happens, and the prosecutors go with the police even if they know they lying, and so do the judges, and that's just the way it is. So to tell the truth and find the difference between a victim and an officer that belongs in jail for perjury, a time-space monitor would be a great tool. It can tell the truth no matter what anybody says. could show what really happened. And of course, in cases of homicide victims, they're not around to testify. So we can see who killed them. No matter if there's no evidence left at the scene, there is always the past on the time-space grid. All right, then we'll have a problem with corruption, falsifying the results of the monitor. So it would be best if we had a monitor in every courtroom in the United States. That's what would be best. That way, no one would be able to tamper. No one would be able to say, well, this is what the monitor said, when it's not really what it happened. And that won't be able to be falsified. Okay, then, there's what's going on in Florida right now, in the Florida courts. What we've got is Big Pharma. They are a corporate entity, which I see it as, alright, they're the ones selling the opioids. They're the ones that have heroin disguised as pills and selling them all over the country. In this country, I could say the world, but I don't know that because I'm in this country. I haven't been to the rest of the world, so I don't really actually know. But I do actually know that they are smuggling heroin disguised as pills into this country. Now they say, oh, since we gave it another name, it's not really heroin. Well, I discovered that. See, I own a marijuana company. I own the Panama City Beach Marijuana Company, LLC. And as they did what they did, and of course, I'm not happy about that at all. I filed in federal court. Federal court ruled marijuana does not make money. Yeah, this is real. It's posted on Facebook. Anyway, what that brought about was I looked into it, and I noticed they altered the definition of marijuana. And as they altered the definition of marijuana, I looked in, well, hey, they altered the definition of heroin too. Yeah. And they're really just heroin smugglers disguised as a legitimate business. As they disguise heroin disguised as pills, right? That's it. They're just smugglers, really good at it. And they had to pay some people off or something. I mean, whatever they did, you can't just smuggle heroin and get away with it. I mean, how many times have we found something saying, oh, this contraband or this controlled substance was disguised as something other than itself, and they got arrested for it anyway? What's the difference between that and what Big Pharma is doing as they are disguising it as pills? You tell me. Anyway, as this hostile executive takeover occurred, the Big Pharma introduced itself into the state of Florida with a contract with the state of Florida. Alright, as owner of a marijuana company, LLC, I am also contracted with the state of Florida. But this does not give me the right to say I'm the state of Florida in a courtroom. And, alright, when I was looking for an attorney to represent me, I sent out messages to 800 attorneys. And of those 800, around 30 responded. And of those 30 responses, every single one of them said we cannot take it at this time, with the exception of one. There's always one. One says to me, I don't think we should have ever even voted on it. Okay. Now this one who says we don't think we should have voted on it, and he's not happy with the situation at all. Well, you know, think about it. A lawyer that says that we the people shouldn't be allowed to vote. Well, that sounds like a socialist communist sympathizer to me, violating the Communism Act of 1954 with malpractice and discrimination in his representation. But he's got private sector practice rights. He don't have to represent you if he don't want to. But you take a public defender. Say, I was arrested by the PCBPD for less than a gram. Now, by law, I'm allowed all the marijuana I want. I can smoke all the marijuana I want because I have a licensed marijuana company that allows me to anything I'm capable of having. And I have a marijuana dispensary tech certification, which says I'm allowed to sample and keep up with the differences between the indica, sativa percentages, such as that. It's kind of like part of the job even. Alright, you know, so there I am, accused of a crime after looking after 800 lawyers, and then they asked me if I want a public defender. I said, that one's got to take it, whether they want to or not. Yeah, I'll take that public defender. So I tell the public defender what to enter. Alright, I'm over there in the Bay County Jail, and we have 3 hearings in which I attempted to enter this evidence. The evidence that says I'm owner of a marijuana company, I'm allowed to have it by law. As a marijuana dispensary owner, I'm marijuana